I have sinned against you, my Lord. And I would ask that your precious blood would wash and cleanse every stain until it is in the seas of God's forgetfulness.
Jimmy Swaggart rose to fame as a fiery televangelist, captivating millions with his passionate sermons and soulful gospel music. His journey from humble beginnings to international acclaim made him a household name in the world of faith and ministry. Yet behind the pulpit, Swaggart's life has been marked by controversy, scandal, and heartbreak. Now, at 89, we uncover the tumultuous story of a man whose public triumphs were often overshadowed by personal tragedies and a relentless quest for redemption. Jimmy Swaggart's journey to prominence began with humble origins. Growing up in Faraday, Louisiana, as the son of a sharecropper, he shared familial ties with music legends like Jerry Lee Lewis and Mickey Gilley, but his passion was always rooted in the church. Swaggart's charismatic preaching style, combined with his musical talent as a gospel singer and pianist, set him apart early in his career. By the 1970s, Swaggart had built a reputation as a powerful preacher who could draw large crowds to his revival meetings. However, it was the advent of television that transformed his ministry. Swaggart's televised sermons captured the imagination of millions, blending fiery oratory with deeply emotional appeals. His popularity skyrocketed during the 1980s, with his programs airing on over 3,000 stations worldwide, reaching an estimated audience of 2 billion people. Swaggart's empire included not only his television programs, but also a Bible college, a sprawling church complex in Baton Rouge, and extensive missionary work. He spoke against societal ills like pornography, substance abuse, and infidelity, painting himself as a moral authority. Ironically, it was these very issues that would later expose the vulnerabilities of his own character. The 1988 scandal, a fall from grace. The first scandal to strike Swaggart's ministry unfolded like a dramatic play of betrayal and revenge. The events began with a public feud between Swaggart and fellow televangelist Marvin Gorman. Swaggart accused Gorman of extramarital affairs, a charge that led to Gorman's suspension from the Assemblies of God. What Swaggart did not anticipate was Gorman's determination to retaliate. In an elaborate sting operation, Gorman and his family monitored Swaggart's activities, eventually uncovering evidence of his visits to a Metairie, Louisiana motel. Gorman's team captured photographs of Swaggart leaving a room with Deborah Murphy, a sex worker. Armed with this incriminating evidence, Gorman confronted Swaggart, demanding an apology and restitution. Swaggart initially agreed to Gorman's terms, but reneged, prompting Gorman to reveal the scandal to the Assemblies of God leadership. On February 21, 1988, Swaggart made his infamous public confession, televised to millions. Tears streaming down his face, he admitted, "I have sinned against you, my Lord," in what became a defining moment of his career. While some viewed his emotional appeal as sincere, others questioned the authenticity of his repentance. The scandal had immediate consequences. Swaggart was suspended by the Assemblies of God, and his ministry faced a sharp decline in support. The controversy also opened the floodgates for media scrutiny, with journalists uncovering further inconsistencies in his claims of moral authority. The fallout from the 1988 scandal was both swift and far-reaching. The Assemblies of God initially suspended Swaggart for 3 months, requiring him to undergo a process of spiritual rehabilitation. However, Swaggart refused to step away from the pulpit, even during his suspension, prompting the denomination to take the rare step of defrocking him entirely. This decision was a crushing blow to Swaggart's reputation and ministry. His televised programs, which had once commanded primetime slots, began losing sponsorships and airtime. Television stations severed ties, and major donors withdrew their support, leaving Swaggart's ministry financially strained. Despite these challenges, Swaggart was determined to rebuild. He separated his operations from the Assemblies of God, rebranding his organization as Jimmy Swaggart Ministries. Independent and no longer accountable to denominational oversight, Swaggart continued preaching, albeit to a smaller and more skeptical audience. The scandal also affected those around him. Swaggart's family members, including his wife Frances and his son Donnie, worked to shield the ministry from total collapse. Behind the scenes, they restructured the organization, focusing on maintaining a core group of loyal followers. Yet the sense of betrayal among many congregants lingered, and the ministry's ability to attract new supporters remained deeply compromised. Barely 3 years after the first scandal, Swaggart faced another devastating blow. In October 1991, police in Indio, California, pulled him over for driving erratically. What began as a routine traffic stop quickly turned into a media spectacle when officers discovered Rosemary Garcia, a known sex worker, in the passenger seat. Garcia's candid remarks to reporters added fuel to the fire. He asked me for business. That's why he stopped me. That's what I do. This revelation shattered any remaining illusions about Swaggart's moral integrity. Unlike his tearful confession in 1988, Swaggart responded to the 1991 scandal with a cryptic remark to his congregation. "The Lord told me it's not your problem." The public's reaction was swift and unforgiving. Many who had given Swaggart a second chance after the first scandal felt betrayed once again. His son Donnie announced that Jimmy Swaggart would temporarily step down from the pulpit to focus on personal restoration. This decision was seen as an acknowledgement of the severity of the situation, though it came too late to salvage much of Swaggart's credibility. The second scandal effectively solidified Swaggart's fall from grace. His ministry, already weakened by the 1988 controversy, faced further erosion of its audience and influence. The Bible college he founded struggled to retain students, and television stations that had continued airing his programs now severed ties completely. The dual scandals left a lasting impact on Jimmy Swaggart's ministry, reshaping its structure, audience, and mission. Once a dominant force in televangelism, Swaggart's empire became a shadow of its former self. The ministry's Bible college, which had been a hub for training future ministers, saw its enrollment plummet. In an attempt to recover, it was rebranded as the World Evangelism Bible College, but it never regained its original prominence. Similarly, Swaggart's television outreach faced significant setbacks. Local and national networks dropped his programs, forcing him to rely on his own Sun Life Broadcasting Network, SBN. While SBN allowed Swaggart to maintain a platform for his teachings, its reach paled in comparison to the heights of his earlier success. Despite these challenges, Swaggart continued to preach, focusing on a core audience of loyal supporters. His sermons, often centered on themes of redemption and forgiveness, resonated with those who believed in his potential for personal transformation. The ministry's survival in the face of such public scrutiny is a testament to Swaggart's resilience and the enduring appeal of his message to a segment of his followers. The scandals surrounding Jimmy Swaggart forced his followers and the wider evangelical community to confront complex questions about accountability, forgiveness, and the fallibility of spiritual leaders. For many, the revelations of his misconduct were deeply disillusioning. Swaggart had positioned himself as a moral authority, railing against the very sins he was later found guilty of committing. Some of Swaggart's supporters chose to forgive him, citing the Christian emphasis on grace and redemption. They viewed his tearful confession in 1988 as a genuine acknowledgement of human frailty. Others, however, found it difficult to reconcile his repeated moral failures with his role as a preacher. The 1991 incident in particular left many questioning whether Swaggart had truly learned from his past mistakes or was merely seeking to rebuild his image. The broader evangelical community also grappled with the implications of Swaggart's scandals. His downfall became a cautionary tale, highlighting the dangers of unchecked power and the lack of accountability structures within some ministries. It also sparked discussions about the pressures of celebrity within religious leadership, with some arguing that the adulation Swaggart received made it difficult for him to maintain his moral compass. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Jimmy Swaggart's legacy is marked by contradictions. On one hand, he remains a towering figure in American televangelism, celebrated for his powerful preaching, gospel music, and humanitarian efforts. On the other, his scandals have become an enduring symbol of the challenges faced by religious leaders in maintaining their moral integrity. In the years following the scandals, Swaggart worked to rebuild his ministry, focusing on a message of redemption and perseverance. The Sun Life Broadcasting Network became the primary platform for his teachings, allowing him to continue reaching an audience, albeit a much smaller one than at his peak. Programs like The Message of the Cross serve as a reminder of his enduring commitment to his faith, even in the face of adversity. Swaggart's family has also played a crucial role in shaping his legacy. His son Donnie and grandson Gabriel have taken on prominent roles within the ministry, ensuring that the Swaggart name remains a fixture in the world of evangelical Christianity. While Swaggart's influence has waned compared to its height in the 1980s, his story remains a poignant exploration of human imperfection and the complexities of faith. It serves as both an inspiration and a warning, reminding believers of the power of forgiveness while underscoring the need for accountability and leadership. The scandals that shook Jimmy Swaggart's ministry in the late 20th century revealed both the vulnerabilities of a deeply flawed man and the resilience of his faith. They forced the evangelical world to reckon with the complexities of power, redemption, and the human condition. While Swaggart's reputation may never fully recover, his story continues to resonate as a lesson in humility and perseverance. His journey serves as a reminder that even the most revered leaders are not immune to failure, and that the path to redemption is often as public as the fall from grace. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.